Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, one of the things that I get asked a lot is what I miss most about not being, say, in the UK or in the US. Not too much that I miss about being in the US. For some strange reason, I never really quite settled in there. I guess I stayed too British for that. I had a great time, did lots and lots of interesting things and learned a heck of a lot. I wish I'd actually learned more. I worked for a company that made movie memorabilia. Now, when you have a movie and it becomes really popular, like say Star Wars, some of the iconic objects in the movie, like in the case of Star Wars, the lightsaber became a very popular collectible item, and the company that I worked for, they actually made a great replica of the lightsaber. So just talking there about these opportunities that come your way when you could really learn something, and you do. I did learn a huge amount, but looking back, I wish that I'd paid more attention, because in that company there were so many talented mechanics, artists, people who made models and did so to an incredibly high standard. So I wish that I'd paid more attention and got round more and talked to more of those guys. And of course, I talked about this before, that in order for anything to be learned, there are components that need to be met, that need to be filled. You have to have a teacher that is willing to teach and a student that is willing to learn. And if you haven't got those two items, you can have one. You can have a teacher that's willing to teach and a student that doesn't really give a damn. And then you can have, which often happens now when you get these burned out teachers who have suffered great disappointments by not being given enough facilities and various other things, and they get classes that are far too many people to teach. They can't actually get round and give everybody the attention they deserve, and understandably they can get burned out. And then there are some people who have fled into the teaching profession and should never be there. So they can often be responsible for disappointing or blunting the creative talents of some of their students, and that does happen. Well, one of my most memorable learning experiences was when I was at the Military School of Music in Bohol in the UK, and I was passionately involved in playing the trombone in those days. Wanted to be the best trombone player in the world. Didn't quite make it, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed. But anyway, I had a great teacher. There was a trombone professor there, Professor Bill Teskey, and he was the principal trombonist of the BBC Symphony Orchestra, and a terrific guy. And he gave me a terrible hard time, because I guess he thought that maybe there was the light of some talent there. He used to, I never quite understood this at the time, but there were other guys who didn't give a damn about playing anything, certainly not the trombone, and they used to go and they used to waste his time. So I used to ask them, can I take your lesson? And then I would roll up, and Mr. Teskey would welcome me in, because he knew that I was really interested. And he used to give me a hard time. Well, it's one of those things where the pupil sometimes thinks that he can teach the teacher how to teach him. And I was guilty to a very great degree on one particular occasion. I listened to a radio recording of a trombone player playing The Flight of the Bumblebee, which, if you know that particular classical composition, you'll know that it's incredibly fast. Well, it's a bumblebee. And imagine playing that on a trombone. So, in my unerring skill and logic, I thought, well, if I can play that, I would be an incredible player. And indeed I would have been, but perhaps I was just skipping a gradient along the way. But with all the innocence of youth, I bought a piece of music of The Flight of the Bumblebee, and I looked at this jumble of notes and I tried them. And I thought, well, Mr. Teskey can teach me if anybody can. And I rolled up for my lesson with this piece of parchment under my arm, and I explained to Mr. Teskey, who sat there and listened very patiently with one hand like this, looking out the window as he listened to my words of wisdom. Mr. Teskey, if you can just teach me how to play Flight of the Bumblebee, I mean, what a great player I'll be, you know. And he said, Flannery, if you take your instrument out of your case and put it to your lips and do anything that I have not told you to do, you are wasting your time. Got it? Yes, Mr. Teskey. And we put Flight of the Bumblebee away, never to be seen again, and I got down to my study. And I learned a lot more. So you need to be a student willing to stud and a teacher willing to teach, and then maybe there's a chance that somebody around here is going to learn something. And that's my little lesson for today. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Talk to you again soon.